Today we are going for a new topic that is nothing but cost accountancy. Now, when we go for this cost accountancy, okay, it is nothing but a branch of financial accounting. When we take financial accounting as a tree, cost accounting is a branch of that. Because financial accountants they used to calculate the profit amount and they always concentrate retain that profit amount. But some people, some accountants, they cannot able to satisfy with this. So what they have done is they have deviated from this financial accounting and they want to keep a separate type of accounting. Okay, thereby okay the profit can be increased. How the profit can be increased? With that opinion, they have deviated from financial accounting. And after deviating, they found another type of accounting, and that accounting is nothing but cost accounting. Okay, and this cost accounting, one thing you have to keep that even though they are deviated from cost, financial accounting. Okay, the main source is nothing but financial accounting. Taking into account the financial accounting aspects, they used to prepare some statements, okay, some periodical statements, and they used to derive the profit amount. Here, they had given much emphasis for cost rather than finance, rather than profit. They had given much importance for cost. And you may ask, so what is the difference between price and cost? Okay, in common man's language, both price and cost are one and the same. But when we go for accounting terminology, the difference there is a slight difference between price and cost. And this thing you will learn in your middle school age because you will come across okay the topics profit and loss or profit, okay, like that. Here price is nothing but the value of the commodity at which we are going to get. Cost is nothing but the total expenditure incurred to manufacture or produce that commodity. From rock to cream, what is the total expenditure that we come across? That thing only they used to take that as cost. Okay, so there is lot of difference between cost and price. Price is the value of the commodity at which we are going to get, but cost is nothing but the expenditure to manufacture the product. And what is the difference between price and cost, sir? The difference between price and cost is nothing but profit or loss. If price is more than cost, the difference is nothing but profit. If cost is more than price, then the difference is nothing but loss. Like that, the people they used to take. Okay, now we are going for the cost accounting. Cost accounting is nothing but an important thing that we have to remember because even though it is a branch of financial accounting, it have its own existence, it have its own importance. And what do you mean by cost? Is there any particular definition for this cost accountancy? There is no particular definition for cost accountancy, but when we go for this, when we go for this, okay, terminology, okay, when we go for this terminology, it is not having a separate thing that we come across, but the ICMA, Institute of Cost and Management Accountants of London, they had given the definition as the application of costing and cost accounting principles, methods, and techniques to the science, art, and practice of cost control and the ascertainment of profitability. This is nothing but the definition given by ICMA people, London. Okay, the application of costing and cost accounting. Okay, costing and cost accounting principles, methods, and techniques to the science, art, and practice of cost control and ascertainment of profitability. We have to assign all these principles, methods, and practice of cost, okay, practice of cost control, and from this, whether we can assign the profitability or not. That is the main definition given by ICMA people. Okay, when we go one by one, so what is this? You are telling that it is nothing but a science, it is nothing but an art, and it is nothing but a practice. Now, when we go for the word science, it is a body of systematic knowledge having certain principles which a cost accountant should follow. Yeah, it will have some principles somehow, like other mathematical principles. This cost accountancy subject, it is also having some principles, and wherever you go, what whomever it may be, the cost accountant has to follow these principles in this cost accounting. That's why a body of systematic knowledge having certain principles which a cost accountant should follow. That is the thing. Okay, it will have certain principles, certain rules and regulations, and that every cost accountant, wherever it may be and whomever it may be, they have to follow this. This is regarding the science. Now coming to art, the ability and skill in applying the principles to various managerial problems. This is nothing but an art. Okay, the ability and skills in applying the principles. In applying the principles, there is nothing but the rules and regulations to the various managerial problems. When you go for a manager, when you go for a manager, okay, he will come across so many problems. Whether you take a small business, whether you take a partnership business, whether you take a joint stock company, whether you take a big company, multinational company, okay, everywhere you will come across this managerial management, this thing, and how the managerial manager is facing the problems. When you come across these managerial problems, okay, what are the ability and skill of the cost accountant in applying the rules and regulations. Okay, in applying the rules and regulations, for what purpose he will apply, for solving the problems, for solving the problems and make the manager to get profit amount. Whether you take a sole trade business, whether you take a partnership business, whether you go for a company, wherever it may be, you will come across managerial problems, management problems. Okay, the problems they may differ, but one thing you have to keep in mind is that he or he or they compulsory they will come across some problems. And whenever the problems arises, it is the ability and skill of the cost accountant to use them and make the problem solve, find the solutions for the problems and make that man to go for profit. This is now regarding the art. And regarding the practice, okay, continuous effort in the field of cost accountancy. Continuous effort. Okay, he should not come and go whenever the problems when they arise. Okay, bringing the principles and rules and regulations and implementing them and to solve the problems and then make them happy by getting the profit amount and then push off. It is a continuous effort in cost accountancy. That is nothing but the practice. Okay, so there is a proverb in this: practice makes man perfect. Okay, like that, he has to practice. Okay, suppose if he come to a sole trader business, what is his problem that he has to take into account? He has to understand, he has to apply the rules and regulations whatever necessary for this sole trade business, and he has to solve that and he has to go. And with that he should not stop. With that he should not stop. he has to go and concentrate on partnership business. What are the managerial problems that the partnership business is getting? So there, what rules and regulations we have to adopt in solving the problems and deriving the profit. In the same way, he has to go to a company and he has to check what are the managerial problems that we come across, okay, that they are coming across, and how we can solve them. Okay, what are the rules and regulations that we have to imply, and how we have to make them happy by getting the profit amount. It is nothing but a continuous practice. It is nothing but a continuous practice. That's what, okay, when we go for this cost accountancy, continuous effort, okay, it is nothing but the practice. And that thing you will come across in cost accountancy subject. Now, when we take financial accounting, you may ask me, sir, do you mean to say that there won't be any effort in this? Yeah, there will be effort, but internally, the people they will solve that. Internally, the people they'll solve that, and they will go further. There is no necessity for them to call an outsider and the other party to come and take their problems of management and solve that. So, in cost accounting, compulsory there should be a continuous effort. Then only he can be in a position to do anything. So that is nothing but continuous effort. Okay, continuous effort. The continuous effort in the field of cost accountancy is nothing but the practice. Okay, sir. Now you are telling that cost accountancy and cost accounting, sir. Okay. So here, what is the difference? As I told you that financial accountancy, cost accountancy, and management accountancy are nothing but the subjects, sir. And cost accounting are nothing but the processes or practices that we come across. And okay, they are synonymously used. They are synonymously used. Okay, and most generally, people they'll go for cost accounting only, but they won't call that thing as cost accountancy. But all the people they have to keep it in their memory that cost accountancy is a subject and cost accounting is a process. As I already told you, financial accountancy is a subject and financial accounting is nothing but a process that we come across in the financial accountancy subject. In the same way, cost accountancy is a subject, whereas cost accounting is nothing but a process. When we go for cost accountancy, cost accountancy includes five important five important things. What are they? First one is costing. The number one is costing. The number two is cost accounting. The number three is cost control. And number four is budgetary control. And number fifth is cost audit. These are the five things that we come across when we go for cost accountancy. Again, I'm repeating. Please don't think otherwise. Cost accountancy it includes five important topics or five important things that everyone they have to remember. First one is costing, cost accounting, cost control, budgetary control, and cost audit. These are the five things that we come across in cost accountancy. Now we are discussing, okay, in brief, what are these? Three things. First one, costing. It is the technique and process of ascertaining costs. It is the technique and process of ascertaining costs, that is calculating costs. Okay. Now, technique. What technique we have to use? What process we have to understand? What process we have to go through in order to ascertain the cost, in order to calculate the cost. So again, when we go deep, technique. What is this technique, sir? Technique, the body of principles and rules for ascertaining cost. That is nothing but technique. The body of rules and regulations, the body of rules and regulations for ascertaining cost. When we want to know the cost, automatically you have to take into account the principles and the rules and regulations. So that is nothing but technique and procedure for ascertaining cost. The procedure, what is the procedure that we can derive the cost, we can get the cost? That is nothing but the process. So, as a whole, it is nothing but the technique and process of ascertaining cost. That is nothing but costing. Now, cost accounting. What is this, sir? Process of accounting for cost for cost begins with recording of recording of incomes and expenditure and ends with preparation of periodical statements, reports for ascertaining and controlling costs. This is about this. Okay, what is accounting? Cost accounting. Process of accounting for cost. Process of accounting for cost begins with recording incomes and expenditures and ends with preparation of statements, periodical statements, reports for ascertaining and controlling costs. This is about cost accounting. We have to apply the rules and regulations, and we have to prepare the statements and reports as and when necessary in ascertaining the costs. That is about cost accounting. Now, coming to cost control. Okay, when you are going for this, costs, you will come across different costs. But there should be a control. Otherwise, heaps and bounds of costs will come, and you will be in confusion. Which costs we have to take into account and which costs we should not take into account. So there should be cost control. There should be regulation in the calculation of costs. Okay. The application of costing to control the cost or regulating actual costs, so as to conform the planned cost. So as to conform the planned cost. This is about cost control. Regulating actual costs so as to conform the planned costs or standard costs, whatever we come across, whatever we plan. That is about cost control. Okay, once again, I'm repeating that. Application of costing to control the costs or regulating actual costs so as to conform the planned costs. This is about cost control. Now we are going for budgetary control. What is budget? A budget is a future course of action to be taken. And we will come across so many types of budgets like sales budget, purchase budget, production budget, cash budget, flexible budget, master budget. Like that, we will come across so many budgets. Okay, this is not the way. This is not the way, Amma. We have to see how many budgets are required and what type of budgets we have to prepare, whether they are in our control or not. Okay, so when you start preparing the future course of action or a budget, you will come across so many budgets. You will come across so many budgets. But how many budgets are to be prepared and how many budgets are not to be prepared? So you have to keep a check. You have to keep a check or control. So that is nothing but the next important thing that we come across. Budgetary control. The establishment of budgets relating to responsibilities to the requirements of a policy and continuous comparison of actuals with budgeted reports. Yeah, the establishment of budgets. We have to establish the budgets relating to the responsibilities to the requirements, relating to the responsibilities, okay, to the requirements of a policy. When you want to keep a policy, when you want to make a policy, what are the requirements that we have to? So that requirements also you have to take it that as a responsibility. You have to take that as a responsibility. Okay. The establishment of budgets relating the responsibilities to the requirements of a policy and continuous comparison of actuals with budgeted results. Okay, you have to take the policy, you have to understand about the requirements, and you have to see whether they are responsibilities. So all these things you have to mix. Why we are mixing? In order to compare the actual results with budgeted results, either to secure by individual action, either by one person individual action, or to provide a basis of to provide a basis for its revision, or to provide a basis for its revision. So this thing, why we are comparing the actual results with budgeted results. Okay, either to secure the individual action, either to get the individual action independent, the independent or individual course of action, or to provide a basis for its revision. Okay, when you want to revise, okay, last year this many budgets we have prepared. Okay, is there necessary? When they are not that much necessary, what budgets we have to eliminate and what budgets we have to keep, how we have done, what is the course of action that we have taken into, all these things they have to, okay, take into account as a revision in the future course of action. So for this, the budgetary control is there. And but I mean cost audit, that is the last one. Cost audit is nothing but, okay, the verification of the correctness of cost accounts and a check on the adherence to the cost accounting plans. A verification of the correctness of cost accounts. Okay, if you go for financial accounting, there you will come across three things I told you: bookkeeping, accounting, and auditing. When you go for auditing, it is also verification of the books of accounts, verification of the books of accounts in order to check the true and fair view of the accounts. In the same way, when we go for cost audit, it is also the verification of correctness of cost accounts and a check on the adherence to the cost accounting plans, whether they are going along with the plans or whether they are deviating. Every cost accountant he will plan. Every cost adopting companies they will make some plans, and whether the plans are going or whether the cost accounts are going according to the plans or whether they are deviating. First thing is verification of cost accounts, and then observe whether these accounts are adherence or following the cost plans, the management, whatever it may be, the plans that they establish, whether they are going according to the plans or not. This is about the cost audit. So we are having five important elements that we come across in cost accounting. First one is costing, second one is cost accounting, third one is cost control, and fourth one is budgetary control, and fifth one is cost audit. This is how you will come across. Now, okay, there is a great discussion and there is a great deviation regarding costing and cost accounting. Costing is nothing but ascertainment of the expenditure, ascertainment of the expenditure incurred. It signifies the techniques and process of ascertaining costs. Signifies the techniques and process of ascertaining costs. That is nothing but cost account. And whereas cost accounting is nothing but a different thing, a systematic way. Cost accounting denotes the formal accounting system set up for recording costs. see the peculiarity. The formal accounting system set up for recording costs. They'll record the costs. Okay, so costing is nothing but a technique and process of ascertaining costs, whereas cost accounting is nothing but a systematic accounting way for recording the costs. This is the difference that we come across between costing and cost accounting. Okay, now what are the objects? What are the objects? First one is to ascertain the cost of products or services, to control cost, and to provide guidelines for management policies. These are the three objectives that we come across when we go for cost accounting. Okay, first one is to ascertain the cost, to ascertain the cost of products or services. Second one is to to control to control the cost, to control or to regulate the cost. And third one is provide guidelines for managerial policy. They'll provide guidelines to the managerial policy. Like this, you will have okay different objectives. With this, I'm stopping, and tomorrow I'm going to continue the same topic. Okay. Until then, bye.